Sean Salisbury here for Open Sports. Let's take a quick look at both playoff pictures, the way I see it's going to turn out heading in to the playoffs after this weekend. Let's start with the NFC. Arizona Cardinals have humiliated themselves in the month of December, but they win the division. You know what? And for a team that's been playing football this long and struggling this long, you'd think they'd have some pride and try to win a game before they went into the playoffs, but they did win the division in a very inept, pathetic NFC West. So they got theirs. In the NFC South, I mean, we've seen what a great division that is. Carolina in the playoffs. Atlanta's in the playoffs. Both teams are going to win their games this week against the Saints and against the Rams, respectively. So Carolina wins the division, and the Atlanta Falcons are going to be the wild card, but both teams are in. So we've got that three set. Now when you look at the East, we know that the Giants are in to give you the fourth team, and the New York Giants are a dominant football team. They don't have anything to play for against Minnesota other than another win and staying healthy. So I think the Vikings can beat the Giants in Minnesota, but the Giants are in and a dangerous team and could very well be playing in the Super Bowl after they beat Carolina last week and proved that they're still the beast. So we got those four teams. Now we're looking for two more, another wild card and a division winner. Chicago going to go to Houston and lose. Don't trust them offensively or defensively, only special teams-wise. And I think Minnesota beats the Giants, so Minnesota's going to win the division. Minnesota's got to play great defense against the run, which they can. And they sure as heck got to get a good performance again out of Tavares Jackson and a great run performance, but they can't turn it over. They lay the ball down. You can't do it because the Giants will crush you. And the Giants are going to be free and easy. They're going to relax and have fun, but I don't expect them to play their starters throughout the game. I think Minnesota wins that. Then the final playoff situation is this. The Cowboys, they're going to Philadelphia. Their offense is finesse and a detriment to their football team right now. Philadelphia will beat the Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia. They'll blitz. They'll get after it. McNabb and Westbrook will do their thing. As long as they protect McNabb from DeMarcus Ware, they're going to win in the NFC. And they're going to beat the Cowboys, but it won't matter because Philadelphia is going to win and knock the Cowboys out. Tampa Bay is going to win their game against Oakland in Tampa. That Oakland, John Gruden, Al Davis thing. Tampa has not played well the last 3 weeks. They will respond with a win and a chance for the third team in the NFC South to be in the playoffs. So two wild cards from the South and the division winner. Tampa beats Oakland. Tampa beats Oakland, and Philadelphia beats Dallas, knocks Dallas out where they should be, and Philly just doesn't quite make it. Man, boy, that tie, I hate the tie system. But Tampa's going to get into the third team with a win over Oakland and the way it sets up. That's your playoffs in the NFC. In the AFC, the Denver Broncos had this division won. Boy, the AFC and NFC is pathetic when it comes to the West. The Denver Broncos had it won a month ago. Had it won at midpoint. And have just let it go. The Chargers 7-8, playing well. Phillip Rivers will carry them to victory in San Diego Sunday night. The San Diego Chargers at 8-8 are going to make the playoffs. And how far they go, well, they've been inconsistent. But Denver has only themselves to blame. They're going to get beat by the San Diego Chargers in San Diego. So the Chargers for the West. The South, we know Colts are a wild card and dangerous. And the Tennessee Titans are physical and dominant. When they get healthy, they can be there. We know in the North, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you know what? Bad idea by the Tennessee Titans to stomp on the terrible towel and to make an embarrassment of the Pittsburgh Steelers after that. You don't do that to a team who will hold a grudge against you and will pay you back. I think the Titans players made a stupid mistake. And you know what? The brains of an oak tree, when you're thinking about that, you've got to think about the big picture. You don't try to humiliate an opponent, especially an opponent that's nasty. But Pittsburgh wins their division. Tennessee, don't be surprised if you have to run into those guys again. So we're looking for two playoff spots, the AFC East and another wild card. Here's what's going to happen. The New England Patriots are going to beat the Buffalo Bills to go 11-5 and miss out on the playoffs. And it's too bad because Belichick has that team going so well right now, and Matt Castle's in for a huge payday for another team next year. 11-5 and miss out. The Miami Dolphins are going to go into the Jets. The Jets are missing out because they have no confidence, have not played well in December and late November. And Miami's got as much swagger as any team in the league. Tony Sparano sews up Coach of the Year. The Dolphins are going to go in and get back-to-back road wins to end the season, and they're going to beat the Jets in the Meadowlands. Miami wins the division. So there's your other playoff division winner. And then finally, the Baltimore Ravens. The Jacksonville Jaguars have forgot how to win. They just don't know how to win. So they're going to go in. They'll move the ball around a little bit, but Baltimore isn't going to give them much, and Joe Flacco's doing just enough offensively, and maybe McGahee got off the schneid running the football as he finally got himself going and getting physical again with the big run game at the end against the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that McGahee in that run game will help, but Joe Flacco will be able to throw the ball against the Jacksonville Jaguars also. I got the Baltimore Ravens beating the Jacksonville Jaguars to sew up the final wild card spot. So in the AFC, Miami in the East, Tennessee in the South, Pittsburgh in the North, and then the San Diego Chargers out West. And then the two wild cards are the Colts and are the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC. Now, we may be looking, and do not be shocked if we're in Tampa covering this game, and the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants with Eli and Peyton Manning are sitting right there staring at each other in the Super Bowl. And one little side note, which is interesting for a division win and a wild card spot, Carolina and Atlanta battling for that. Carolina's got to go deal with Drew Brees in New Orleans, and St. Louis is going to Atlanta. You'd almost favor Atlanta to win the division, but I think Carolina's going to run the ball all over physically against New Orleans and win that. So Carolina will win that division. There's your 6 playoff people from both sides, and as we go on, we'll break down the matchups. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if that crystal ball is right. I'm Sean Salisbury for Open Sports. My biggest excitement this week is watching Miami and the Jets to see exactly how the Miami Dolphins do in bad weather and how they perform. And I really, really cannot believe that the New England Patriots, in my mind, are going to end up 11-5 and out of the playoffs. I'm Sean Salisbury. Have yourself a great week.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.